Most homes have a lock on the front door, a motion sensor by the window, maybe even a security camera watching over the porch. We do everything we can to protect what matters, from intruders, from chaos, from loss. But sometimes the thing slipping away isn't obvious. It isn't a stolen package or broken glass. It's something quieter, slower. A sense that your energy's off, your mind feels cluttered, your finances don't flow the way they used to. It's not dramatic. It just builds quietly. And by the time you notice, you're already living in a space that feels off, less like a home, more like a drain. Now, I'm not here to tell you that a plant will fix your life. But I will say this, some of the most powerful shifts I've ever seen in a home start not with remodeling or renovations, but with a single living presence added to the room. Not expensive, not rare, just the right plant in the right place. Because the truth is, energy moves. And when it stops moving, so do things like motivation, money, clarity, and calm. Today, I want to show you something quietly powerful, 6 humble houseplants that do more than decorate. They help redirect the flow of energy in your home, the same way a well-placed window lets in light or a good conversation resets your day. These aren't miracle cures, but they are tools. Practical, beautiful, and incredibly underrated. If you've ever walked into your own living room and felt off, like something's not quite connecting, this might be the missing piece. Not because the plant is magical, but because energy is real. And your home might be asking for help in ways you haven't heard yet. So let's take a quiet walk through 6 plants that don't make noise, but might just be guarding your peace, your focus, and yes, even your fortune. Part 1. Why plants are energy portals for money flow. We don't usually think of a houseplant as a financial decision. We buy them because they're pretty, calming, or because that corner feels a little too empty. But what if that small green presence could quietly shift something much larger in your life? What if a plant, something alive, rooted, and growing, wasn't just filling space but directing energy in ways you didn't see but definitely felt? In many homes, there are places that feel heavy. Maybe it's the corner near the laundry room that never quite warms up. Maybe it's your home office where every time you sit down you end up scrolling instead of starting. Maybe it's the space right inside your front door that should feel welcoming but somehow never does. These aren't architectural flaws, they are energetic ones, and they matter more than we think. Because in spaces where energy stagnates, so do we. Our mood flattens, our motivation thins, and often our finances start to echo that same pattern, stuck, low, unpredictable. Here's the truth most people overlook. Energy moves through a home the way water flows through a stream. If there's clutter, poor lighting, or too many sharp edges, the energy gets interrupted. It pools in odd places. It dries up in others. And when that flow is broken, things in our lives begin to feel harder than they should be. What plants do, especially the right ones in the right places, is gently reopen the stream, not dramatically, not instantly, but steadily. They breathe into the space, they soften the edges, they reconnect what's been disconnected. And here's where it gets practical. When your space feels better, you make better choices. You sleep more deeply. You communicate more clearly. You stop spending out of anxiety and start acting from clarity. And slowly, the energy that was once leaking out becomes something that gathers, grounds, grows. Plants are not magic, but they are powerful because they are living things. They constantly interact with your space. A healthy plant quietly broadcasts harmony, growth, stability. And just like we absorb the tension of a cluttered, chaotic room, we also absorb the calm of a space that breathes well. In that calm, your thinking shifts, your body relaxes, and your relationship with money begins to change. There is science behind this, too. Studies show that indoor plants can lower stress hormones, increase productivity, and improve focus. But beyond the science is something deeper: presence. A plant is never in the past or the future. It's simply here, and being around something so rooted can help you return to yourself. Not the overwhelmed version of you, but the clear, calm, and conscious one. And that matters deeply when it comes to money, because financial problems rarely come from just numbers. They come from pressure, from panic, from decisions made in noisy rooms or under emotional fog. But when your home becomes a place where you feel centered, not scattered, everything changes. You notice patterns you used to miss. You pause before reacting, you stop chasing and start choosing. The flow of money in many ways mirrors the flow of your space. If your energy is frantic, so is your spending. If your home holds peace, you tend to make choices that reflect that. A calm home doesn't mean expensive decor or perfect design. It means a space that supports you, that restores you, that reminds you gently to slow down. And that kind of home doesn't happen by accident. It's created, sometimes with big shifts, but often with small, intentional ones, like placing a plant where energy feels stuck, like watering it while breathing deeply, like noticing that after a few weeks, something inside you feels lighter, not because of the plant itself, but because of what it allowed you to see. Plants remind us to pay attention, care for something quietly, to check in. And in that simple act, we begin to shift our own patterns. And with that shift, money starts to behave differently too, not urgently, not all at once, but more like a tide that begins to turn. So no, a plant won't fix everything, but it might soften something sharp, brighten something dull, unblock something you couldn't quite name. And when that happens, don't be surprised if wealth, not just in dollars, but in clarity, in calm, in direction, starts to find its way back in. Gently, steadily, like sunlight creeping across the floor. Part 2, 6 unshowy plants that secretly guard your fortune. Number 1, elephant ear, the quiet shield of the home. Not all protectors wear armor. Some stand in the corner of your living room, rooted in silence, casting no shadow, asking for nothing, yet guarding everything. The elephant ear plant is one of them. It doesn't bloom, it doesn't perfume the room, it doesn't try to impress, but that's exactly why it works. In homes where the energy feels scattered, where peace seems to escape through cracks you can't even see, this plant offers something most of us don't realize we need. A quiet, grounded presence that holds everything together. Its broad, dark green leaves look like open shields, tall, wide, with visible veins that stretch like rivers across the surface. And that's not just an aesthetic detail. The size and structure of these leaves help it do what few objects in a home can: absorb chaos and soften incoming energy. You may not see it happen, but you'll feel it, that subtle shift in the air. The way the room suddenly seems quieter, steadier, as if someone finally turned down the static. The elephant ear doesn't draw attention. It directs energy. There's something deeply comforting about a plant that doesn't chase the light. It holds it. In spaces where we feel drained the moment we walk in, what we often need isn't more movement or stimulation. It's stillness, solidity. And the elephant ear, with its upright stems and unwavering posture, provides exactly that. It doesn't droop under pressure. It doesn't waver with every breeze. It holds its shape and invites you to do the same. If your mind feels cluttered the moment you sit down, even in a tidy room, or if you find yourself pacing more than resting, this plant might be the anchor your energy has been missing. Place it near your home's entrance, beside your favorite chair, or close to your workspace. Wherever energy feels too fast or too fragmented, let this plant be the pause. It gathers what's flying loose. It centers what's been stretched too thin. Many people think of grounding as a mindset, a meditation, something internal. But grounding can also be physical. It can sit right beside you, breathing softly through its leaves, offering quiet companionship. And this is where the elephant ear becomes more than a plant. It becomes a presence. Not just decorative, but protective. Not loud, but commanding in its own calm way. And perhaps what's most powerful is this: when your space feels safe, your nervous system responds. Your thoughts slow down, your shoulders drop. Your decisions come from clarity instead of urgency. That shift, though subtle, can be the difference between reacting out of habit and responding with intention. Between impulse spending and thoughtful investing. Between spinning your wheels and finally moving forward. The elephant ear doesn't promise miracles, but it does offer something increasingly rare in a busy, noisy world: stability. It reminds us that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just stands tall, listens, and holds the energy steady until we're ready to catch our breath. This plant thrives when treated with respect but not fussed over. It prefers a little space, moderate light, regular but not obsessive care. It's low maintenance, but not low impact. Think of it like an old friend who doesn't call often, but when they do, you drop everything to listen. It's that kind of energy, present, purposeful, never performative. So if there's a corner of your home that feels a little too busy, a little too tense, or simply off, this might be your signal. Don't rush to redecorate. Don't rearrange your entire layout. Start with presence. Start with this plant and give your home one more voice that doesn't speak, but says everything. Number 2, Anthurium, the flame of connection and emotional harmony. Some plants ask to be noticed. The Anthurium doesn't ask, it simply shows up. With its deep red, heart-shaped flowers rising above glossy green leaves, it doesn't whisper for approval. It radiates presence, not flashy, not loud, just certain. And in a home that sometimes feels emotionally thin, where the conversations are short, the silence is too long, the smiles a little forced, that certainty becomes everything. This is not a decorative flower. It's an emotional beacon, a symbol of sincerity, of love that still wants to grow, of connection that may have frayed but hasn't broken. The Anthurium holds warmth in its shape and strength in its stillness. It belongs in spaces where people gather, even if they are not always getting along. Near the dinner table, beside the couch, tucked near the window where light can hit it just enough. Because in those shared places, where the energy of a family pulses, hums, sometimes clashes, this plant becomes a silent moderator. It doesn't fix what's spoken or unspoken, but it does soften the room enough for people to stay in it longer together. You've probably walked into a room before and sensed the tension without anyone saying a word. The Anthurium is what helps that room exhale. It brings color where things have gone dull, clarity where things feel emotionally clouded. It reminds us gently that relationships, like plants, don't thrive on grand gestures. They thrive on daily tending, quiet presence, small acknowledgments, and when those begin to return, so does ease. So does harmony, and with harmony, more often than not, comes opportunity for healing, for forgiveness. And yes, for abundance, because money rarely flows freely in a house where hearts are closed. If your home feels like people are coexisting more than connecting, if the air has gone stale with unspoken words, this plant offers more than beauty. It offers warmth, and not just visual warmth, but emotional. The kind that changes the tone of a room before a single word is said. The kind that invites conversation, not conflict. Reflection, not reaction. Place it intentionally. Don't hide it in a corner. Let it stand where its energy can be felt, where its flame can remind you that affection, like a fire, needs tending, not just to burn, but to light the way back to each other. You don't have to explain to a plant why things have grown distant. You just have to care for it. And as you water it, clean its leaves, notice the curve of its petals, something in you might soften too. You might say a kinder word. You might stay in the room just a few moments longer. You might begin without trying to restore what felt like it had slipped. The Anthurium is not therapy. It's not magic, but it is a companion, one that speaks in shape, in color, in quiet energy. And in a world that often shouts, that's the kind of healing some homes are quietly asking for. Number 3, golden pothos, the gentle flow of long-term prosperity. Some plants don't demand attention, but you feel better just being near them. That's the quiet charm of the golden pothos. It doesn't bloom. It doesn't stand tall. Instead, it flows. Its long, trailing vines stretch gently across shelves, windowsills, and walls like a soft stream that refuses to be rushed. And in a world where everything feels urgent, fast, and loud, this plant is a whisper that says, "Slow down, let it come." Golden pothos is often overlooked, maybe because it's so easy. It doesn't complain, it doesn't wilt easily. It doesn't ask for anything dramatic, but that's precisely where its power lies, because this plant mirrors something we all crave but rarely get: steady growth. Not a spike, not a windfall, but a quiet, reliable, lasting flow. In energy work and in lived experience, this kind of presence is gold, literally and symbolically. Money, too, flows better when it's not chased, when it's guided, when there's a space for it to move through that isn't blocked or erratic. The golden pothos behaves exactly like the kind of financial pattern most of us wish for: calm, resilient, and continuous. Hang it where air moves gently. Let the vines sway. Watch how it softens the corners of a room, how it links different spaces together. Just like its leaves grow one after another like little stepping stones. This plant encourages connection, not just between rooms, but between moments. Past and present, thought and decision, you and the life you're trying to build. There's something deeply reassuring about watching it grow. No drama, no rush, just new leaves one at a time. If you've been chasing progress that never feels like enough, this plant offers another model. Let things take root. Let them trail gently into place. Trust that what's building slowly may last longer. It's perfect for transitional areas, hallways, windows, corners between rooms. These are the in-between spaces where energy often hesitates, where it scatters. But with a pothos nearby, that energy has direction, flow, and where flow exists, stagnation can't survive. Neither can scarcity, because a house with healthy movement energetically and emotionally is one where wealth feels invited, not forced. You don't need to monitor it constantly. Just water it when the soil feels dry. Wipe the leaves if they start to dull. Give it a place where it can stretch. It doesn't need a spotlight, just space. And in return, it gives your home a feeling that's hard to describe but easy to recognize: ease. That subtle shift when you walk past it and feel like things are somehow okay. Like something good is already on its way and you don't need to panic for it to arrive. In homes where energy gets stuck, in arguments, in doubt, in fear, this plant is a gentle disruptor. Not by force, but by flow. It moves so things around it begin to move too. And that includes ideas, conversations, money, and sometimes hope. So if you've been holding your breath, waiting for a sign that it's safe to exhale, to relax, to trust the process again, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the plant that reminds you how wealth works when it isn't forced, quietly, patiently, on its own time. Number 4, Chinese evergreen, the leaf of clarity and financial wisdom. There's a moment, maybe familiar to you, when you sit down at your desk, open the bills, or review your bank statement and feel a kind of fog. Not panic, just noise, a buzzing in the background. The numbers blur. The mind jumps from one thought to another. You're trying to focus, but the energy feels off, scattered, unsteady. What you need in that moment isn't another spreadsheet, it's clarity, stillness, a subtle reset, and few things deliver that quite like a Chinese evergreen. At first glance, it's not a showstopper, but look again. Its leaves are deep green, layered with soft strokes of silver like small coins scattered across a forest floor. There's a natural symmetry in it, a balance. The green grounds you. The silver catches the light just enough to wake the space up. And without saying a word, this plant becomes a quiet advisor, not to overwhelm, but to remind. Order is possible. Calm is still accessible. The mind can sharpen again. The Chinese evergreen is especially powerful in workspaces, reading nooks, and places where decisions are made because its energy speaks to discernment. It holds its shape. It doesn't overgrow. It doesn't demand. And in that gentle restraint, it offers a kind of example: how to expand without chaos, how to hold presence without noise. In homes where finances feel uncertain or mental energy feels thin, this plant becomes more than decor. It becomes a symbol of clarity, of steadiness, of intelligent growth. And it's low maintenance. It thrives in soft light. It forgives missed waterings. It doesn't shed. It doesn't wilt easily. It endures. That resilience isn't loud, but it is deeply reassuring. Because in life, what brings real peace is rarely dramatic. It's what stays, what lasts, what shows up again and again, quietly supporting you as you find your way. Many who live with this plant describe subtle but noticeable shifts: clearer thinking, fewer mistakes, more patience with complex decisions. Not because the plant is magical, but because it contributes to an atmosphere that helps you show up better. It clears space not just on your desk, but in your thoughts. And when your thinking changes, so do your financial patterns. You start to pause before spending. You double-check that detail. You hold yourself a little taller, a little steadier. And there's something else. This plant doesn't call attention to itself, but it does reward attention. Wipe the dust from its leaves and they shine more brightly. Place it in a pot with depth and quiet color, maybe charcoal, slate, or soft metallic, and it radiates calm strength. The kind of strength that doesn't need applause. The kind that sits beside you, silently reminding you, you're capable, you're clear, you can handle this. If there's a corner of your home that feels like it's seen too much tension, or a desk where every decision feels heavier than it should, consider the Chinese evergreen. Not just as a plant, but as a companion. A presence that doesn't fix the problem, but holds the space where solutions become possible. Because clarity doesn't always come in a breakthrough. Sometimes it arrives in small green leaves, edged in silver, standing quietly in the corner, waiting to be noticed. Number 5. ZZ plant wealth that grows quietly over time. Some plants remind you of a season, others remind you of a rhythm. The ZZ plant, it reminds you of a principle that real wealth isn't built in bursts, but through quiet, consistent care. In a world that celebrates speed, quick returns, and overnight success, this plant is a quiet nod to those who know better, to those who play the long game, to those who keep showing up. The ZZ plant doesn't grow quickly. It doesn't shoot up toward the sun in dramatic fashion. Its stems are thick and glossy, rising slowly, confidently, each one lined with symmetrical leaves that almost resemble a neat stack of coins. It's not just beautiful, it's symbolic. Of order, of intentional growth, of financial steadiness that doesn't rely on luck, but on grounded, reliable habits. It belongs in the homes of those who have decided that peace is more important than pace. And here's the quiet brilliance of it. This plant survives in conditions where most others would give up. It tolerates low light, missed waterings, and long stretches of neglect without losing its posture. It holds its shape. It endures. That's the kind of energy many of us want in our financial lives, too, not explosive highs followed by hard crashes, but quiet resilience. Money that stays, decisions that last, a foundation you can trust. Place it in your home's southeast corner, the wealth corner. Let it stand near the front door beside your desk or in that area where your long-term intentions live. Not where you chase, but where you build, where you plan, where you breathe. This plant doesn't need constant fussing, but it responds beautifully to thoughtful attention. A warm-toned ceramic pot, a gentle wipe of its glossy leaves, a moment of stillness as you stand next to it, and remember, wealth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it hums softly beneath the surface, waiting for you to stay long enough to hear it. If you're someone rebuilding, or starting over, or simply trying to stay the course after a tough stretch, this plant is for you. It reflects the quiet kind of strength that rarely gets celebrated but always gets results. It won't rush you, but it also won't let you forget that everything solid grows in its own time. So let it sit where you can see it every day. Let it be a living reminder that you don't need to race to get ahead. That progress made slowly with intention is still progress. And that real wealth, the kind that nourishes, that lasts, that feels right, is never loud. It's rooted, it's patient, and it grows quietly, steadily, and always in the right direction. Number 6. Fragrant Dracena, the unseen pillar of fortune. Some plants dazzle, others comfort, but a rare few simply stand, quiet, steady, and unwavering. The fragrant Dracena is that kind of presence. It doesn't try to impress. It doesn't bloom often. In fact, you might live with it for years before it flowers at all. But that's what makes it so powerful. Because when it does finally bloom, soft white clusters with a light, drifting scent, it usually happens at a moment of shift, of transition, of quiet arrival. And it doesn't just signal a plant in full maturity. It often mirrors you. The Dracena grows slowly upward with grace. Its trunk thickens like a spine. Its leaves form a soft armor around it, layer after layer, like life itself wrapping experience into strength. And as it grows, it does something few plants do. It becomes a kind of spiritual anchor, a living column of grounded energy that holds your space steady, not just for a season, but for the long haul. In homes where life has been unpredictable, where change keeps knocking before stability has time to settle, this plant becomes a symbol of endurance, of quiet power, of fortune that comes not from sudden gain but from staying the course. Its presence doesn't shout, but it's deeply felt, like a pillar holding up the room without asking for thanks. If you place it near a hallway, an entryway, or an open transitional space, it helps anchor the movement. It slows the energy, not in a way that blocks it, but in a way that gives it form, direction, purpose. And that subtle shift often changes how you feel when you walk past it. You move differently, you breathe differently, you think more clearly. And when, after years of care, it finally blooms, it's more than just a flower. It's a confirmation that the slow, patient work you've done on your home, on yourself, on your finances, is blooming too, that you didn't miss your moment, that your consistency was the breakthrough all along. The Dracena doesn't demand much: moderate light, occasional watering, room to stretch slowly, but like all things that grow deep roots, it requires presence, attention, not obsession, but quiet care. The kind of care you give to things that matter, and when you offer that, it reflects it back tenfold, in steadiness, in grounding, in a kind of success that doesn't need validation. So if you're building something that takes time, a career, a legacy, a sense of peace, this plant belongs with you. It won't bloom for applause, but when it does, it'll tell you what most external praise can't, that you're finally standing tall, not because you rushed, but because you stayed. Let it be your reminder: wealth isn't always about movement. Sometimes it's about what holds, what stands, what keeps you upright when everything else feels uncertain. The fragrant Dracena won't rush to reward you, but when it does, it will be deeply earned and deeply beautiful. Part 3: 3 common mistakes that reverse your energy flow. Sometimes the reason energy doesn't flow in your home isn't because something is missing, it's because something is blocking it. We often look for answers in the new: a fresh color, a new piece of furniture, something else to add. But the truth is, energy doesn't just respond to what you bring in. It reacts to what's already there. And in many homes, the energy is not just stuck, it's being quietly reversed. Not by intention, but by 3 simple, often overlooked mistakes that change the way your space speaks to you. Mistake number 1: sharp, aggressive plants in key areas. Cacti, thorny succulents, or plants with spiky leaves may look modern, minimal, or edgy, but what they emit isn't flow, it's resistance. These shapes carry what some call cutting energy. And when placed near entrances, walkways, or communal spaces, they create an invisible friction. You may not notice it with your eyes, but your body does. You tense more. Conversations get shorter. Rest becomes harder. The home feels less like a sanctuary, more like a stage. If you're someone who has struggled with chronic tension or unexpected conflicts at home, take a look at your plant choices. That small aesthetic decision may be holding more weight than you realized. Mistake number 2: keeping dying or neglected plants in place. This is one of the most emotionally charged mistakes because it often comes from good intentions. We keep the plant hoping it will recover. We feel guilty throwing it out, or maybe we've just stopped noticing. But energy mirrors life. A plant that is browning, shedding, or clearly struggling does more than take up space. It holds stagnation. It reflects back what's not being cared for in the home and often in ourselves. It reminds us of what we keep delaying, what we're avoiding. And over time, that quiet visual starts to shape our mindset. It subtly lowers our standard for vitality. If you've walked past the same limp leaves for weeks, maybe months, and thought, "I should do something about that," but didn't, you're not alone. But that moment is also your clue, because it's not just the plant that needs tending. It might be the energy around your goals, your boundaries, your attention. Mistake number 3: putting the right plant in the wrong place. This one is subtle but powerful. You might have the most energetically aligned plant for your space, but if it's hidden in a dark corner, shoved behind furniture, or dropped somewhere just for now, it can't do what it's meant to. Plants are like signal towers. They absorb, direct, and distribute energy, but they need air, light, and intention. Placement matters. A money plant tucked behind a dusty cabinet sends the opposite message of prosperity. A calming plant left in the line of hallway chaos won't hold that softness. The energy gets interrupted, misrouted, and so does yours. Before you bring in another object to fix a space, ask yourself, is what I already have being honored? Is it visible? Is it cared for? Is it where it can truly support me? These 3 mistakes aren't just about aesthetics. They're about how we engage with our environment, about what we've normalized, about how we sometimes tolerate energy patterns that deep down don't support us. And the beauty is they're all reversible, instantly. Remove the thorns, let go of what's already lost its vitality. Reposition what you already have with more care. You don't need to renovate, you don't need to spend. You just need to see, to notice what's been speaking to you in silence. Because the home always whispers before it shouts, and the energy always tells the truth, even when we're not ready to hear it. When you make even one of these shifts, you may feel something unexpected, lightness. Not from change itself, but from permission. Permission to reset the tone of your space, to stop waiting for the big transformation, to start with what's already in front of you and let that be enough. Final, what you just explored wasn't really about plants, not fully. It was about what they unlock. The subtle, unseen patterns in your space that shape how you feel, how you think, how you move through your day, and yes, even how money flows into or away from your life. Maybe today you realized something you hadn't noticed before, that energy isn't just a theory. It's lived. It's in the way your shoulders tense when you enter a certain room. It's in the pile of unopened mail you keep stepping around. It's in the quiet heaviness of a house that looks fine but somehow still drains you. And it's also in the plants that hold steady, that breathe, that soften and redirect the flow without ever saying a word. You now know that there are 6 plants that don't look like much, but do more than most. You've seen how their shapes, their textures, their presence carry energy, calming, grounding, connecting, steadying. And maybe even more importantly, you've seen the 3 silent mistakes that can undo all that good. Mistakes that don't make you a failure, just human. Mistakes we all make when life gets loud. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get it all right before abundance can reach you. All you need is a little more presence, a little more noticing, a little more care. Offered not in panic, but in quiet belief that small things still matter. That energy responds to attention, and that your home wants to support you. It just needs you to meet it halfway. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. Thank you for opening not just your home, but your heart to a different kind of prosperity. One that starts not with more, but with better. Not with control, but with connection. And wherever you are in your journey, whether you're rebuilding, protecting, or beginning again, may you feel supported by your space. May your energy be calm, your mind clear, and your fortune steady. You deserve a home that holds you well. Take a deep breath. Maybe glance at that corner you've been meaning to fix. And when you're ready, begin, even if it's just with one plant. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take good care of your space and let it take care of you.